Oilers got Drogos again.
I think Oilers draft is just better, in my opinion. I think the Drogos is gonna roll. I think the Drogos here is even better than the Drogos was earlier because it's into just the Damba. You know, earlier they were playing it into the Grok, and the Grok was just, he was able to heal out so much of the combust damage, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case here.
Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs to Froggers once again. Already pre-firing around the corner into Barn. Most of them are grouping up through there. The shield gets popped, but already Barrick gets brought pretty low, but everyone being funneled right here is where Willow wants them to be. That Barrick has no HP really remaining to him at all. The combustible's there, but they do force Willow out of high ground. Then play Ring Around the Rosie, obviously. Swap spawns here, because now they're still trying to combat those in Barn. It's still hard for them to do that. Combustible is playing a huge role here, and it's hard for them to do. That Makoa's running them down. Can we get, yeah, okay, yeah. That Makoa right there has been running at them the whole time, and they get the kill off of it too. Stigma is the first to go down in this mid-fight.
They've been playing Ring Around the Rosie, but the only ones falling down are Snapping as they get the rest of that damage in on that chase. They're gonna have to, I mean, it's just over, right? They're gonna bail, yeah. They're going to get chased, they're gonna get zoned. This mid for sure is going to the Oilers.
Already, it seems like for right now, Reincarnated has to retreat. Obviously, Penguin is now pushing up with the Fernando. They have to hold the line here somehow, some way. At least lower their health pools a little bit, so it's harder for them to crest around that corner. He has Fae Flight available to him. The hook goes out, and the Fae Flight follows suit soon after that. Fernando makes it out, but how much more will they be able to take here? Firing directly onto the Tyra and the back line. The rest of them, the front line, have to retreat and make sure they can group out the Convergence on the way down. Gets pulled in. Where you going? Get over here. As Penguin goes down, the first one to fall during this mid, and the rest will follow suit.
Remember, only donations directly will be the ones that are given to charity. Anything else is just a tip to Froggy and no one else in this chat.
Value.
This could be a kill. This could be a kill. He hooked into the fire. He's crushed. He's dead immediately, just like that. I guess that is what Makoa brings to the table. Now, Barrage combined with the fear gets them an equalizing pick.
But this is already a good spot for Barrick. I like where he's positioning right here. It means that Penguin and the Fernando have to be a little bit more careful with where they're positioning. They drop down. They get the Barrick, though. The Fae Flight might be the start of the... So they have the Sarah's Convergence. Once again, Makoa wants to try and go in, but gets picked off, if anything. Noise Overlord already out of the fray here as Yamato manages to get a kill for himself. They're still allowing the kills to filter on the side of Snappin'. And Oilers lose and can't push the point. So now we're tied at a 1-1 for the next round. Khan's be careful because Khan's gonna try and look for an overpower here. They may not be able to group up as effectively. As long as he gets somebody in this mid, it's pretty much curtains for potentially the rest of the mid because of how Ice Mines works. So you got to be careful here. Half Shell is getting burnt down. They're all grouping up once again, but the barrage might be huge. They at least get one. They use a couple charges on it, but don't fully commit to it. There's the overpower. Tosses Saris right off the side. Dragon.
He lived.
She lived. He didn't toss her off the side.
He missed.
The wall. 111 HP still remaining. Trex does not go down, and the rest of Oilers are reeling from that one. Stigma is going to be the only one that gets the kill here. I was expecting Saris to be gone, but it turns out that she's still here to play. 72% for Oilers, and that's going to be a point converted for the boys in red.
That is A5 well done Wagyu fucking beef from Reincarnated. Absolutely. On this con. Cool. No, that is just unlucky on that throw off the map. And I think their comp for this part of the map is great. With the harassment from the Drogos, the Saris being able to heal everyone up, multiple shields to cleanse, cauterize, and no tanks up top to contest them. They could keep walking, but there's just too much damage from Stigma.
Right now, that obviously Stigma's holding up here on the high ground. Fae Flight makes it a little bit harder. They use the dome shield, but he cut off the rest of his team. For right now, they have to use the half shift. They'll try and see if they can keep themselves alive for a little bit longer. They get Stigma, and nobody dies despite the health pool on Oilers. They get 2 of them. That's already a great look. Oilers still want to push this one forward. Penguin looking for any sort of opportunity, but the shields here are being a very, very pain in the ass for Willow.
This is where things are going to get exceptionally difficult, though. This distance they have to play at will be difficult. They have to hope they get something out of this pull, and they do. The Convergence.
Man, wow.
It finds Stigma and Reincarnated not too healthy on the other end of it either.
Shuttle travel as well. They're trying to get out. There's the pocket potential I was mentioning before. Barrick lives with no HP, living on 1 pixel and a dream. They move it to the back. Miss Juice gets killed. Now they're going to be looking at the next one. Tries to spin through, but it doesn't matter. The Spinaroonie is going to put him in the grave. The damage is there, and Fernando was not on the point to touch the combustible. Knocked him all the way to Saturn. That dub is going to go to Oilers for this round, 3-1. Now, this time around, Reincarnated, if he gets an overpower, obviously the biggest thing to say is that he doesn't need to miss throwing him off of the side, because We don't want to trade
I
like
would
that
say
to
that.
happen again, where the Dragon Punch ends up trading out a life that was supposed to be there, but the Dragon Punch gets started here looking for an opportunity. What more are they going to do? They're just using it to zone more than anything, repositioning, and nobody else can step in. There's the barrage. Overpower goes through. They
Uber's is insane!
Stigma goes down. That's going to be their opportunity, and they pushed right on in. This was the opportunity they were looking for. Triple kill for Uber's payday. He goes down, but he was on a mortal 11th streak. Saris sitting pretty in a lawn chair, sipping a martini. The hat's right on. She's not worried whatsoever about them trying to make it back to point. Barrick's here trying to stop.
They can't touch.
Taken,
He
and
did
Saris
not.
is doing everything. They couldn't do anything to make sure that Oilers doesn't take this game. That's the first one to the boys in red. 1-0 for Oilers. I mean,
sort of insane. I mean, we already established.
I don't even know what they last pick here. If they, like, I actually have no idea.
That'd be triple.
I was
D's.
thinking
Ooh.
the Willow, but
Willow.
they still don't
Yeah.
really have much to burn the Yago.
I don't like. Yeah,
It'll
I
be
feel like
big
Snap is
game
a hard one
passing.
draft.
I think
think
Snap
big
has an
game is a
insane
scale.
draft right now, dude. But
I just
hey, I'm
pressed-
looking forward to it.
I just pressed tab in game and I noticed something really funny that I didn't notice last game.
What was it? It's. Oh.
Do you not
Oh.
notice something? Someone should be
I-
slightly different from the rest for some reason.
Wait, I'm confused.
I have Penguin muted.
Oh.
Anyways, I get it. I get it.
Sight begets strength. Nothing too crazy build-wise here. We see an outside start from Oilers. I think I like it against them. I do want to see what the hell Carl's going to do in this Yagorath. Go in the middle of them, get stunned. He is
Oh, he can't go anywhere.
just straight vibing. Just
Wow.
straight vibing there in the middle of their team, choosing death over any alternative, and Oilers will be able to reset on point.
A very interesting play, if I do say so myself. I don't really know what it is that Yagorath was planning on doing there. I mean, Carl moves in and obviously gets the landing, sticks the landing, but sticks the stun as well.
I think
so.
he couldn't deploy. I think he was in an area that he couldn't end up deploying in. Here you go. You gonna
here you go
deploy,
again.
Carl?
Yagorath. Okay, look. All right. Listen, guys. I promise she's good. Like, this is just a few misplays. Carl's trying to deploy. He's trying to do what he can. He's rolling right on through him. It's fine. They got it. No worries. Right. I think because I genuinely think like this is a good draft for them. This is great. Like this is a perfect opportunity for them to be able to utilize this draft to the most of its potential. He can't go into church again. Like there's no way. Like you can't. I would just.
Well,
siege him out.
he's not staying in this time. He's leaving. He took half his health and damage. He's out. It does put a little bit of pressure on his healers because they're not great at like spreading burst heals very quickly, but it's pretty quick right now. Look at this
that's
fear. Are they gonna
perfect.
follow up on it? Yamato's going in.
There actually are, and it seems like Yamato's going to get killed, though. Reincarnated is lost soon before that when they use the Whirlwind. They're chasing down the Cassie. She's Hunter's marked, and that's going to be curtains for her. They drop down. Yagorath is there, rolling around, doing exactly what she does. Crossfire as well. They're pushing in and right on through. The cripple goes down onto the Fernando. 87% to 99. This is pretty much a point capture. And the cripple on the retreating Maldamba as well. That's a capture point. Snap in, just take this one 1-0 so far.
A cursed arm to push out. It's not really hitting the way exactly as well as they want it to, so they're gonna have to be sent running from this Tempest.
Oh my goodness, run you shall, but escape you won't. My goodness, they run right on through. The Tempest is going to be a strong ultimate here. The reversal's up, but it doesn't matter because they're still putting on the pressure. They keep and force the rest of the remaining members of Oilers back into their spawn. 1 minute and 46 seconds left. As obviously the cart is still rolling right on through. Beautiful cripple as well. They get plenty of damage. It's hard for them to play outside of their spawn now. I mean, this is why Grover's so strong, man. Like, everyone's getting crippled the minute they peek out. But Ingrid still gets killed here, unfortunate. They get the cripple, but they still lose the player.
Let's watch this Andrew here for a little bit, because I'm really not... Oh, oh, never mind. That about answers any questions I had about that. Huge damage just from the Yago rolling through. I think that is kind of how you have to use her. It just Carl has to understand when to deploy, when to back away, and it seems like he's getting a better idea of how he wants to be playing this character. 240 shielding on swapping to ball for him? That can't be that good, right? Frog is smiling. Frog is smiling. I see him on the camera. It can't be that good.
3, 2.
Frog, quick input. Do you have anything to say?
Ask the question again. I was smiling at the donut, I'll be honest.
Oh, okay.
It's not very good, right? It was it's
What isn't good?
240 health, 240 shield if you swap to ball for him. Thank you.
Thank you. Very much appreciated, Frog. Thank you for your input. We always love to hear it. Reincarnated are going to find the first kill here as things are 2-0 so far. Snapping is going to make sure that they trade things out at least 1 for 1. 60% for Oilers, though. They haven't really been able to force much. The Whirlwind might be the start of something here as they at least try to contest on the objective for a little bit. They back up so they don't push behind it. It forces Fernando out for the most part as he plants up and tries to keep things available to him. Reincarnated there and still trying to fight back. The totem gets dropped. Reincarnated Caro. Everyone is there. They have to force out the Immortal as well. The Tempest was waiting in the mist here. They pop the Accursed Arm and beautiful midair shots from the Accursed Arm. It's still not going to be enough to kill him. That double healer is playing a huge role in how this fight has been, how this draft has been going so far. Miss Juice gets 1 kill. Penguin gets 2. It's hard to push through, and this is what we were talking about beforehand. This is why Andro can struggle, and a lot of their other characters on Oilers side as well, is because it's hard to play in a double healer. It's just difficult. Yeah. You have to counter it with a double healer of your own or something that you feel like might be a little bit better.
I think a big part of their combo is that they're winning early and then they're just getting overwhelmed later in sustain. The war of attrition is getting won by the double support combo that has ways to keep their team alive, and of course tons of CC they can use between slows and roots, and their tanks are making quite a bit of space. Look at Reincarnated right now. He's feared, but who's punishing him? A Nando giving him the tickle beam? Nothing else is really going to come out of it, and they have to Fae Flight just to push out.
Fae Flighting Willow comes through. They managed to at least lower Penguin a little bit, but most of them are playing by Fireplace right now. They're still trying to hold on to whatever they can do. The hook doesn't pull him, but it does at least run for a little bit. He did get rooted as well, so the pull didn't go quite anywhere. They may have wanted that to be the case. Triple Axe obviously tossed out, manages to root the Androxus as well. Goes for the ultimate, but ends up missing it on the lower rung of things. Even though they missed it, it's still looking like a great game for Snapping right now.
Carl is just trying to find his space, trying so desperately. Digny hanging on this corner, but he's stuck in fire, and he has no more shield running to the other side, just above half. It's all about if the supports can keep him alive.
Still, so far, they use the Tempest. This might be the pin in the coffin here for Oilers on this map. They're still trying to fight one-on-one. Miss Juice versus the Willow. The battle of the century. Who will be the one that comes out on top?
We're in a world right now where a Grok can just run in a Willow and start 1v1ing her, bro. I really want you to realize that.
And can win the 1v1. Like
that was definitely a possible win, dude.
Why did you have to pick one of the worst pictures of me of all time? Welcome to the Alienware Consortium of Analytical Authority.
Oh yeah. You're almost to $1,500.
I do not know how I feel about the last pick, Leon.
I mean,
I don't either.
It's for the Drogue for sure.
It's good for the Drogue.
Leon was the last pick too, yeah. It's good for the Drogue, but it's Jag. I feel like he can just kite.
That's literally what I was about. That's literally what I was about to say. I'm not sure if there's really anything that's really too interesting. Also, mention again. Digny's also muted right now.
Yeah, so I think it's just the first person on the left team is automatically muted. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Both supports just got crushed in that back line, and Noise Overlord, I love this, but just who cares about the Ashe? You can stop her dash when your team gets the setup, but just walk past her. Then you'll turn and burn her, and now they have a 5v4 to play.
And this is exactly the power we were talking about of this draft. They're going to run, try and find a pick, and use that to snowball themselves out of control. They've managed to sit down on the objective for now, and now the rest of them have to try and fight some sort of way back. Miss Juice still trying to fight around the corner here, firing in whatever way that they can. Obviously, the spit goes out, but they managed to get Yamato, so they lose one on the side of Oilers. They managed to net more percentage than them, but that's going to change very soon as Snap-In come around the corner, and they make sure that they clean up, dust their hands off of 3 nicely timed kills. Oilers are still trying to fight back here. Now they've got a decent zone, but they can't push up too far. They're running Soul Tank. So
let's watch this Leon.
Or never mind.
And this is our first Leon pick of the tournament. So no, second Leon pick of the tournament. One was on Frog Isle. Yeah. But I still want to keep eyes on it. I think Leon is a character where I don't expect to see a ton this week. There's a stunning that he has no shout left, so a double kill for War 2020, and they're gonna run this one down.
Time bomb. Your time's ticking. You should have listened because that was the warning. The bomb explodes and catches you. Stigma.
They're not capping.
His fingers, and they don't. Okay.
They're not capping.
Okay.
Penguin wanted to push. Penguin wanted to push.
Okay. There we go. Snapping special, I suppose. And still, they're gonna have to play passive. I mean, the solo tank con is like it's good when they're able to actually get the kills present. Thank you so much, Kuru, for the $1 donation. Big donation. A donation helps any way, shape, or form. 2 kills already for Yamato and the Drogos, and then of course you have another kill for Yamato, which means that it's a double. They're managing to turn things around, make that a triple. Never mind, the Tyra is carrying. Yeah, nothing too crazy so far. I mean, obviously they're running the Wrecker as well. They need to be able to burn through Barrick and Ash's shields. I mean, more so Barrick than Ash, but even still, making sure that you deplete that shield as quickly as possible means that it helps your team snowball, because even Fury is getting it right. No Inflame on the side of Digny. Instead, he opts to go for the Wrecker. They just want to be able to, keep snowballing their thing. Oh my
they hit 3 people.
All the way from the back. Gets that through time and space. Averwinge, of course, we gotta mention your friend. Thank you so much for the host, or the raid, I should say, for 15 viewers. Thank you, my man. Love to see you here, and we love to see some good-ass Paladins, man. My goodness, what a through time and space. They snipe as everybody's trying to jump right on through.
Too late. It's too late. They're stopping the punch, but that was it. By the way, I want to remind everybody, the loser of this game is out. This is a loser's bracket game between these two teams. So if Oilers get the upset here, that's our 2nd seed eliminated, going 0-2.
Yeah, that's not a good look. I think that's the best way to say that. It do be like that sometimes. Beautiful fire spit as well, running the combustible here, obviously, to poke at him. That's got to be annoying, but poke enough and it'll pay off eventually. Assert dominance, time bomb, gets 2. Oh my goodness, they get a 3rd, an overpower as well.
Noise!
Side. Noise,
it's a 1v1!
Overlord. It's only him. It's a 1v1, Leon. You gotta sit down. Let your bodyguard do all the hard pulling here, as Oilers managed to take this in what seemed to be Snapping, trying to toss out the time bomb, see if they can try and turn things around. Does not work for them.
Wait, Reincarnated, stunned out of his dome, forced to use it defensively, but they got 2 to start.
Stigma, Carl Sagan finding 1 kill apiece. They're looking for another one on the menu. Served up and cooked is Noise Overlord. Reincarnated finds another one. Genos has to just run into him and feed in whatever way possible. Meanwhile, Yamato is running away. You got to make sure you die quickly.
Keep eyes on Stigma in mid. The long range for dismount's obviously really effective, and the headshot to get that kill will make this positioning that Oilers has a lot worse. You need someone to be covering a little bit of every angle of the map. But they're just getting met by them, and they're actually a little wary of a backhab. They have to know that they're all in front. They have eyes on that, but here comes pressure from the crossfire.
Already the ultimate's being popped. They're trying to find their way back in, but Noise ate so much damage on the way, and they do manage to get juice. They don't have a tank, though, so they have to be careful about how they're going to push this from this moment forward. They're still managing to get the poke, though. Penguin gets brought pretty low. Uber's Payday, Trex already get taken out. Stigma on the side is finding the good damage and the good kills to allow his team to hold on to their position.
I'm not sure if they're going to spend anything to get out here. It's only 45 seconds left.
Yeah,
it's definitely not the time to do it. I think you just play to charge your ultimates and hope you get some longer brawly fights to make that happen, since you're not going to deny any from snapping. Noise Overlord, he's taking a lot of pressure in main. Carl knocked dangerously low. This is how you want to do it. A lot of DPS on one side with your tank absorbing in the other lane, and it works out perfect.
Trex already manages to get one against Reincarnated. They get another cripple as well and keep themselves, they keep themselves on the back pedal here. Oilers was just starting to get out of their zone, but thanks to a beautiful cripple from Penguin, they're able to manipulate that fight to work for them. They clean up shop here with 8 seconds left. I'm not sure there's a chance in hell they're going to be able to make it back to the objective and touch and talk. They were at least able to make things even up to make sure they weren't. Obviously, Oilers wasn't able to quite push in. They used the Dragon Punch right on through, but I'm not too sure about the positioning of that beautiful fire spin. My goodness, the combustible plays a huge role there. The inflame, but so many health pools are already low. They find some sort of way to push in. They managed to get it. Oh my goodness!
And Crosshold's gone.
Power as well. They're gone. The Dragon Punch.
Another punch.
They cancel it. They have to find some sort of way to go in. They managed to sock someone right in the jaw. Penguin goes down. And my goodness. That's already another one. They used the dome shield for that. That's all right, man. They actually used the Reincarnated used the dome shield for that. To try.
That is not necessary. He didn't need to do that, Fawn.
He didn't need to, but he wanted to.
That
and
was
he
so
did.
funny, dude. That was so funny.
Only hold available is Leon, which is not a lot.
Yeah, not really too much for Snapping to sort of work with right now. 90% to 36 right now, as things are coming a little bit harder for Oilers. It seems like for right now that's
T-Rex is so close to ult.
They're still trying to. Yeah, they are. They're just trying to buy time for now. They use the whirlwind and they manage to get the pick. They go for the through time and space and manage to find the kill onto Penguin. Now we're looking at a 1-for-1 trade, but they don't have a tank, so they can't really contest. However, they will want to. Stigma's back in the back line, really low. Yamato goes down as well. Still another 1-for-1 trade. They go for the enlightenment and they find the kill. They clean up shop here and snapping. We're going to take this 3-2. Cart hasn't really been stopped either, and they're obviously going to pay as much attention to noise as possible. That's their only tank, the only front line they've got to be able to work with. The Inflame might change things here. The combustible knocks them around, but no definitive kill yet. They're trying to find some sort of way out. They do manage to do it, but the assert dominance on the right side by the staircase. They're just going for better opportunities. Overpowered once again, just countering Carl Sagan on the Ash. Stigma, Carl Sagan, both of them go down. Firebomb goes out as well, and they manage to get good enough kills. Reincarnated, the next one to fall.
Ubers is doing a lot so far. I mean, keeping up with Stigma, who...
Yeah,
I mean,
Drogos is doing... That's what I was wondering about, too.
But, like, how much of that damage is, like, actually sticking, right? Ubers is 8-8. Stigma's 16-4. So Stigma's damage is being converted more often. Is that, do you think, because of the non-LOS heals on Oilers being so low, just because it's coming out of Genos?
It's definitely like the double heal. Like the double heal was making it more prominent because he's using combustible, and we saw it happen one time where he got all those people like grouped up through time and space. T-Rex is gonna find so much off the side of that through time and space. That's 2 kills already. They drop down, Goomba stomp them. They're not gonna be able to block the dash. They still get the kill on the way out though, thanks to Yamato. And my goodness, man. What a wonderful through time and space to turn that around for Oilers. It was looking grim, but they changed that for the better.
But now they don't have it for the next fight. I mean, it was worth it. They trade 1-for-1. T-Rex still in. Stigma getting the better of him, though. Maybe a little overeager with the second pick now going the way of snapping as well.
Okay, for right now, Stigma with the triple kill. Go over the next one and light.
Okay, Stigma, calm down.
All right. He was
sticking his balls in their mouth at that moment, but he couldn't go any further with it.
that was a feeling himself kind of ult. Was a feeling himself type of ult. It just was. He was feeling a little bit too much. It goes wide. Was not going to quite find it. Crossfire gets used, but this whole time, Stigma's getting healed back up. Who's paid? They've changed this. Might be for the better. Charges right on in. Carl Sagan, they're trying to find the opportunity. The stun goes out. And will they be able to kill Ash? They do. They're still making this look better for them as time goes on. There's 2 squishy targets still remaining, but they're holding on, and nobody's able to quite do the damage to sort of stop them. They're still trying to push for some back. How much longer will they be able to call? They managed to get Penguin. They managed to get Misjuice. And they tie this up to a 3-3.
They
turned that on the back foot. I thought that was over. I thought
that was over too. I thought Snap and rolls that in, dude.
This is it. Who is going to be the one sent to the Shadow Realm after this map?
Yeah, this is a reminder. This is a 3-3 map 3 elimination game.
Yes, this is loser's bracket. Like, so this happens, you're out. Like that's just how it's going to be. They're pushing around the right side on statue though. The inflame, you hear the call, the banner is raised. How much more will they be able to push in? They're holding onto the con ultimate. They know the assert dominance is there. Stigma is just in the back, living rent free.
What the fuck?
He dashes, goes to the ground a little bit, playing a little bit too aggressive there. They get 2 because they have to peel back to deal with Stigma. They have 42 seconds, 42% remaining. And they get Yamato as well, looking for a better opportunity. Noise is still there. Overpower doesn't get used. They have to find some sort of way in. They body block the assert dominance as well. You can't stop that one. This might be game through time and space. Is gonna go wide here, drops down. He can't get the touch. He can. It caused the overtime, but that still might be enough. Wait, if they kill the Ash here.
Wait, Noise can touch.
Noise can touch. He's there with the commander's grab. He
goes behind.
And a beautiful opportunity. They're looking low. Barrick is also brought down as well.
No, too much.
Noise gets killed. That might be all she wrote for now. They were about to turn that around. It looked like it was looking a little bit more questionable. But
oh my god!
Double kill.
Oh my god!
No, it was 7.
Dude, oh my god! I almost flipped my shit, dude. I almost lost my fucking. I thought Oilers won, dude. I was gonna lose my mind,
bro. Literally, all Snappin had to do was not all Oilers had to do in that fight was not have Yamato int. He was just like, he popped crossfire, there was 4 people low to his right, and he's like, I'm gonna kill this fucking Sky, and ran in across everybody, got rooted, ate a million CCs.
Man.
That was
threw his life
insane game.
Oh my god,
that was insane game.